All right, so news just broke that Jaron Ennis is likely to face Thomas Dulorme October, late November. And I was surprised by the response from some fans. It was very critical, and I can't understand why. Is that right now, if you look at Jaron Ennis's resume at 24 years old, because of his circumstances, he's taken the right amount of step-up fights in the right fights at the right time. It's like, okay, so let's look at it. He was slated to face Thomas Dulorme, but ended up fighting Chris Van Eerden because Delorme tested positive for COVID. Then he goes on and stops Sergey Lipinets right after that. And now he's revisiting the Thomas Dulorme fight. And I hear fans clamoring for Custio Clayton. A lot of fans aren't aware that Custio Clayton chose Sergey Lipinets over Jaron Ennis, and I can understand why, right? For where Jaron Ennis is in his career, right? He is the most risk and least amount of reward for any welterweight. For the last 24 hours, I keep hearing he should have fought Clayton. He should have fought Clayton. So he should have fought Clayton. That's biggest claim to fame is having a draw with Sergey Lipinets, who Jaron Ennis absolutely positively destroyed. Now, many believe that Clayton won that fight, but Boots destroyed him. Left no doubt. Like, if they don't belong in there with you, you get them up out of there. That's the rule. And he got him up out of there, right? So, and then you have Thomas Dulorme. Thomas Dulorme has a couple of losses, and fans pay attention to the O too much, because when you face top opposition, you won't have an O unless you're like super special, Andre Ward, Floyd Mayweather Jr. But Delorme's been in there with just about everybody. Jamal James, Stanionis, Terrence Crawford, like you name it, he's faced the best opposition, some of the best opposition at 147 pounds. And he's like a measuring stick, right? Not too many dudes has stopped Thomas Dulorme, but I think Bud might be the only one. But if you can get him out of there, it proves that you are, a level above. And that's what this is. Along with what I'm hearing, that Clayton wanted a lot more money than they felt like he he deserved. But that's the business of boxing. You get what your worth is what you negotiate, right? So I'm not mad at a dude for trying to get more money. Like, nah, I'm not that guy. I'm not going to say a guy is like really pricing himself out, because at the end of the day, I'm not the one that has to get hit. He does. So if he feels like this fight is worth this amount of money, shit, who am I? You know what I'm saying? I just report on boxing. So either one of those opponents would have been a good, solid opponent. Custio Clayton, Thomas Dulorme, right? Right now, none of those guys, Boots, your Claytons, your Stanionis, can really get someone who's in the top 5 in the ring. So it's just looking like they just going to have to fight each other out until a vacant slot opens up or they become a mandatory. And the one prospect that's actually getting the better step up fights is Virgil Ortiz. And a lot of people use him as, oh, well, see, look who Virgil's fighting, but they don't really understand that one of the reasons why Virgil gets these big fights is because Virgil's looked at as beatable. Whether he is or whether he isn't, people look at Virgil's style as something that's easier to deal with, as opposed to a Jaron Ennis, who's a full package on everything. Like Virgil, big, strong kid, sturdy, good power. Is going to come forward and break you down. Boots is a full balanced breakfast. Freakish speed, great power, switches, can fight on the inside, can fight on the outside. When looking at him, when analyzing him, you don't see a weakness. You don't see something that you can exploit. And I feel like that's the reason why he's struggling to find opponents. So for me, I don't understand the criticism. He's everything that you want as a fighter. Good, humble kid, stays in the gym, and come fight night, he's knocking you the fuck out. So I don't understand the criticism. It's coming off like hate. And when people use the, oh, but he got 27 fights thing, that's because you don't understand the business of boxing. When you are buying opponents, and this goes for people that don't understand how moving fighters work. When you are signed to a major promotional company, they pay to move you, right? If you are doing it yourself, you will see those type of guys have a lot of fights because you're paying for opponents. And when you're paying for opponents, you're going to be as active as possible early on in your career. So, so that's why you see a guy like Deontay Wilder, guys like Canelo, especially the Mexican guys. You will constantly see them with 40, 50 fights, 30 fights before they get to the top level. That's because they're fighting every month to stay active. Lower level competition, but they're fighting every month. Major promotional companies really don't do that. And those guys don't get paid. Unless you're with a huge promotional outfit, you're not going to get paid early in your career because you're paying for the opponents. Now, the plus side is with every win, every knockout, you're getting closer to the money. So it's essentially you're taking a loss to win later. And it's something that's completely overlooked by the fans. So I like what Boots is doing. I like Thomas Dulorme as a fight. Shit, if he can't get none of the top guys after that, Clayton's a good fight too. And I look forward to seeing more from Boots in the future, man. He's going to be one of the champions at 147, 154 pounds. Shit, we got a lot of talent in 147. And with him, your Virgil Ortiz, your Rashid Ellis, your Paul Crawls, Jesus Ramos, Stanionis. So it is a bunch of good fights that's going to be made at 147s in the future. And as a fan, I can't wait. I can't wait. Hopefully we get more of the Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, not the Earl Spence, Terrence Crawford. Because there's nothing worse than not seeing two guys who are the best not fight at the best. So you let me know in the comments below, who do you want to see Boots fight next after Delorme? And do you think Delorme is a quality matchup? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. YSM Sports Media. We out.